Hello everyone, my name is Andrea. Today we have yoga for hips, so we're going to work on some stretching, lengthening for muscles that support and surround our hip joints. Could be really great if you've been out running or walking. Also could be great if you've been sitting down. We'll get started seated today, and if you are not comfortable in a cross-legged seat on your mat, sometimes it's helpful to add something underneath your hips to give you a little lift. Sometimes that can release some tension, so if that feels better for you, you could stack some books, a pillow, a blanket, whatever you have nearby underneath you. If not, sitting on the floor is great as well. And we'll start here with our tall spine. Maybe eyes closing. And as always, anytime you'd like to rest, feel free. If there's any movements that aren't feeling good for your body today, you can adjust, modify, or just skip those movements. Allow your breath to deepen and lengthen. An option to engage your Ujjayi breath. That's our ocean-sounding breath. Slight constriction at the throat, just enough to feel the breath moving in and out. And let's keep these deep breaths flowing today as we go forward. If your eyes are closed, allow them to open. Let's take our right hand off to the right side. Deep breath in, take your left arm straight up towards the ceiling, sitting up really tall. Exhale, we'll lean up and over towards our right side. Left arm really lengthening up. Left hip is pushing down into the ground here. Think of creating length from your hip all the way up to your fingers. And then deep breath in, we'll take our arm back up towards the ceiling, head lifts. And exhale, release, arm down by your side. Very good. Inhale, other side, arm lifting up, big stretch through the side. Exhale, lean up and over. And if your left shoulder got tense, just soften the elbow. Whole body reaching and stretching to your left. Right hips pushing down into the ground as your arm lengthens away. And then inhale brings us back to center, reach up. And exhale to release. Give your shoulders one roll. Inhale, shoulders lift forward and up. And exhale, down and back. Very nice. If you're feeling a stretch at all in your hips or legs, you could feel free to stay right here with the legs crossed. If not, we'll take the soles of our feet together for a moment, letting the knees relax out. If this feels tense or uncomfortable, you can try sliding pillows or something underneath the outer thighs for more support. Otherwise, legs could just relax right down towards the ground. And your choice, stay upright or you're welcome to bow forward. Full deep breathing here. And if you are leaning down, inhale to rise back up. If your feet are together right now, just slide them a little bit further away from you to adjust the stretch. If your legs are crossed, switch so the opposite ankle comes in front for a moment. And then your choice, you can stay upright again, or a deeper variation, maybe you're leaning forward. Good. Your breath in. Come on, back up to the top. Let's take our hands towards the outside of the legs. Bring your feet onto your mat. Knees bent, hands behind you a little bit on the ground. Let the knees rock side to side. Very nice. As you come back to center, we'll take the right leg out in front of us and bend our left knee in so the left foot comes to the inside of our thigh. Eventually, we'll be twisting over to our left here. 3 options today. First option, your foot would stay right where it is. We would twist from there. Second option, a little deeper. Step up and across so your ankle comes over towards your right hip. Twist would be here. And option 3, if you can keep both of your hips down on the ground as you bend your right leg as well. Heel would be over toward your left hip. You could take it right here. And we'll aim for a very tall spine as you inhale, really lengthen upward. As you exhale, option to gaze back as you twist. Arm can be any way that feels comfortable. Inhales to create spinal length. And exhales to turn and look back. Next deep breath in, we'll turn back to the front. Exhale, hands to your right side. Take a little bow, counter twist. And then come on back up, and we'll lengthen the legs back out in front of us. And this time our right knee will pull in towards us, left leg stays long. You could stay here. Option 2, step to the outside, turn from there. Option 3, bend that bottom leg, heel towards hip. Either way, inhale to sit up. Exhale, maybe starting to turn your gaze back. We do want about equal weight in both hips here. Inhales, allowing more length. And exhales to gently twist. One more deep breath. On your inhale, turn and face the front, release the arms. Exhale, counter twist, bowing to the left side. And then come on back up. We'll come to tabletop, so hands and knees on our mat. Once you've arrived, just take a moment to notice the joints stacking, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We'll inhale, belly down, look out to the front. And then exhale, hollow out the belly, round the spine, chin to chest. A few more like this. Inhale to cow pose. Draw the collarbones forward. And exhale, cat pose. Pushing into the hands as the core muscles activate. Take a few more on your own. Maybe adding in some side-to-side motion, some movement at the hip joints. One more breath to even out those motions. When you're back to your neutral spine, back in tabletop position, we'll tuck our toes behind us, just lean back to the feet for a moment. Forward to the hands. Back to the feet. Once more like that. And then we'll shift forward. You can untuck your toes so they point back behind you again. If your knees allow today, take them out to the outside edges of your mat. Big toes will come in towards each other. And then we'll draw back. Hips towards heels. Forehead might bow down to your mat. Child's pose. Next time you inhale, push into your hands, draw forward, just like your cow pose, belly dips down. And then exhale, go back to your child's pose. Hips to heels, head down. Once again, inhale, wide knee, cow pose. Exhale, lean back. One more like that. Good. Inhale to shift forward, back towards our tabletop. Bring your knees back underneath you. So if they were out wide, they'll just step back towards center. Tuck your toes, and then hips up and back, downward facing dog pose. Might feel good to pedal out for a moment. Allow some movement at your legs. Give your head a shake. Gaze point is back at our feet. And then find stillness. Imagine your chest pressing towards your thighs. And look forward towards your right hand. We'll step our right foot forward to meet our right hand. If it doesn't step all the way to get there, just use your hand, scoot behind the heel, help that foot all the way forward. And from there, let's take the back knee down, untuck the back toes down onto the ground so the foot points backward. And then just start to draw your chest forward. If it's hard to reach the floor, you could always add something underneath your hands here. Imagine your right heel almost drawing back, just slightly, like it's pulling on your mat or on your floor. Full deep breathing here. Anywhere you're feeling stretching, imagine those muscles can soften, can relax. One more in-breath. As you exhale, draw your hips back. Your hands might need to shift, and again, you might need to take something underneath your hands to feel comfortable. Here for half splits, we're drawing our hips back. If you notice you're sitting back on your back foot, just slide your front heel forward. The knee might be bent a little bit. That's totally fine. Otherwise, deeper variations, you could let your toes lift up, flexing through the right ankle. You could even bow your head down if you'd like. Awareness to breath or sensation here. Your next inhale, slowly start to shift forward. If you did move your foot forward just a moment ago, take it back where it started. And we'll return back to our low lunge variation. You could stay here just like we did a moment ago. Other options, you could take your hands up onto your right thigh, more upright. You could also bring your arms up and back overhead. If you're upright today, think drawing in through the core muscles, shoulders relax. Deep breathing. One more deep breath in here. And exhale, we'll take both hands down to the inside of our foot this time. So hands come to the inner foot. Walk your right foot out to the edge of the mat, and we'll let the heel stay on the mat and the toes hang off the outside edge of our mat. So the foot is angled outward just a little bit, and hands are still pretty much lined up with the inside edge of our foot. Option to let your hips relax down. And if you're comfortable going down to your forearms, deeper variation here, that's fine. Just try to keep both hips lifted off of the ground for now. Notice you're losing your breath, or if it's becoming choppy, just return your awareness to the breath. If it's difficult to keep your breath smooth, sometimes that means you're in just a little too deep. Option to add on here. You're more than welcome to just hold right at center if this is better for you. If you'd like to turn towards your right leg, maybe take your hand onto your right thigh and just gently push into that thigh as you turn your body. Another variation, we're adding a twist. One more in-breath here. Exhale, gently face back down to your mat. Both hands come down to the ground. As your hips pull back, you can slide or guide your right foot back where it started, tabletop. Might feel good to rock your hips a little bit, move around, release tension. Nice work. And when you've made it back to center, we'll return to downward facing dog pose. Toes tuck under. Chest goes back towards our thighs as the knees lift. Maybe some movement for a moment. And then look forward towards your hands. Left foot goes all the way to the thumb. That might mean you help it out with your hand. Scoop it forward. We'll soften the right knee down to the ground. Untuck the right toes. And then slowly draw our chest forward. Remember, you can add something under your hands if that's helpful here. Stay down low with our hands down. We're creating stability by touching down to the floor or whatever you're holding onto. And the hope here is that the muscles that we're stretching are able to relax a little bit more, maybe lengthen a little more easily than if they were tense. Maybe the sensation of your left heel pushing down, also slightly drawing backwards, as if you're trying to slide it on your mat, but your mat's a little too sticky to actually allow the movement. One more deep breath in here. As you exhale, we'll start to draw the hips back. No rush. You might need to move your front foot, readjust, maybe slide it forward a few inches. You might need to move your hands towards you. Deeper variations, your toes could lift up. Your chin could come to your chest as you round forward. Notice breath or sensation. Your next breath in will gently shift forward. If you slid your foot forward a moment ago, just drag it back towards you. And option one, just like we did a moment ago, you would stay low here. This version is less pressure on the back knee, so if you're finding that knee to be uncomfortable, you can keep your hands down, or you could add some cushion. Option two, hands up onto your thigh. And option three, arms might lift, the feeling of gently leaning back. If it feels tippy side to side, you can always take your front foot out a little bit wider on the mat, creating stability. And then a little bit of core strength if you're upright here, helping to keep your low back long as you lift up and draw back. Face and shoulders relaxed. Maybe imagining length from the front of your right knee up the thigh to the front of the hip, all the way up your front body to your hand. One more in-breath here. Exhale, slowly, gently release. We'll take both hands to the inside of our left foot, right in line with our foot. Take a little walk outwards. Find the edge of your mat. Heel stays on, toes angle off. And then we'll ground down through the hands. Great place to stay here. This is lizard pose. If you're comfortable down on your forearms, that's a way to add intensity. But if it did roll you to the side, good sign to just come back up onto the hands. Full deep breathing here. If it's ever feeling too intense, you can back off a little bit, drawing your hips backwards. Maybe adding something under your hands. Your choice, you could stay where you are. If you'd like to take your twist, hand would go onto the thigh, just rotating your chest towards your left leg for a moment. Full deep breaths. Stay for one more full deep breath. And then we'll exhale, hands return back down to the mat. You can ease your hips back, no rush, sliding or guiding your foot back behind you. And then allow some movement, maybe circling or swaying through the hips for a moment to help release tension. Very nice. And when you're ready, we'll come all the way down to the belly. So a little shift forward, bend the elbows backward to lie onto your mat. Take your feet together, preparing for cobra pose. Inhale, gentle lift of your chest. Pause at the top. Shoulders and elbows roll back as if your elbows are reaching for your hips. Point the toes and push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Might even lift your kneecaps slightly. Good. Let's lift a little higher as you inhale. And then exhale, release back down to your mat. We'll take it up to tabletop. Inhale, push into the hands. And exhale, hips back towards your heels. Deep breathing for a moment. And allow your head to lift. We'll shift forward back to tabletop, and we'll come onto our back. So if you're towards the back of your mat, you might choose to just slide forward to give yourself some space. As we lie all the way down, we'll have our knees bent. You can let your legs just gently rock for a minute, right to left, side to side. And when you've made it back to center, both knees bent for a moment here. Let's take our right leg up towards the ceiling. Allow some movement at your ankle. And then pause that movement, flex the foot so the toes pull towards your face, turn the toes out to the right and bend your knee, ankle up by your left thigh. Option to stay right here, perfect place to be if you're already feeling stretching. If not, you might need to draw your legs closer to deepen the stretch, increase the intensity. An option to reach around behind your left thigh, let your head relax back down as you bring your thigh towards you. We want our upper body to be fairly heavy down to the ground here. Feeling relaxed in the upper half. Right ankle joint stays flexed. That can engage some of the muscles that support our right knee joint to help protect that knee. Maybe the feeling of your tailbone drawing forward as if you're trying to press it down to the floor. . One more in-breath. Keep the ankle crossed, but as you exhale, if your left foot lifted, just replace it back down to the ground. We'll take our arms or your elbows out wide, and then let both legs lean to the left side, so your outer left knee, maybe even your right foot, will come either towards the ground or lie right down onto the ground. And if you need to readjust your body at all to be comfortable, do so now. Deeper variation, you could lightly press your right thigh forward with your left hand, like you're pressing it away from you. Maybe gaze turns to your right. And then return your gaze up. Return your arms out wide. Strong core muscles roll onto your back. 2 feet down to the ground. Let's rock the knees right to left. And come on back to center. Might feel good to readjust your hips with a little lift. Left heel into the air. Take some movement at the ankle. And then flex the foot. Toes pull towards you. Turn the toes out to the left. Bend your knee. Flexed ankle lands right there up by your right knee. And perfect place to stay if you're feeling a stretch right here, maybe the sensation of your left thigh pressing forward away from you. Deeper variation, bring your right foot off the ground, maybe reach behind the thigh, just let the upper body soften back down towards the ground. And left ankle stays flexed here. Feeling of trying to roll our tailbone down towards the ground. Upper body as relaxed as possible. Notice the breathing. Relax through your face. One more in-breath. Exhale, right foot down. If it was lifted, take your elbows or your arms out wide to the sides, and then just lean, tip your legs over to your right side. Your outer knee, maybe your foot might come onto the ground. Feel free to readjust your legs any way you need to be comfortable. And then deeper variation, option to take your right hand to your left thigh and gently guide it forward. Always working with your range of motion, your point of comfort. An option to take your gaze out to the left. We'll inhale, gaze up, wide arms. Exhale to engage your core, roll back to center. You can release your foot down, readjust your hips, and rock your knees side to side. As you rock back to center, we'll take both knees in towards our chest for a moment. You could reach towards the shins. You could reach towards your own hands, own arms, own elbows, whatever your tightest grip is, and then let your upper body, shoulders, head slowly ease back to the ground. Chin tucks in a little to the chest. As you draw your legs closer to you, try to push your tailbone back down towards the ground. Maybe noticing some compression here at the front body. hip flexor muscles at the front of our hips. Deeper breath in. And full breath out. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, tight squeeze. Good. This time, inhale to relax, release. Just take some movement. Circle your knees. And then other direction. We'll draw the knees both out wide towards the shoulders, outer shoulders. Let your heels lift higher into the air. And depending on your body, your legs right now, you can hold the backs of your legs. If your hands reach up towards your calves, your ankles, or even your outer feet, that's also available. Knees draw out as if they're trying to pull to the floor. And then maybe a little rock. Happy baby pose. Imagine you're trying to create a print of your spine on your mat. Tailbone pressing down. Neck is long. When you're ready to rock back to center, you can slowly ease your movement to a stop. Release your hands, draw the knees in. And we'll meet in Shavasana, our final resting position today, our corpse pose. Traditionally taken with the legs long, but if there's another variation you'd like, you can move there now. A moment to rest and completely relax. Maybe arms by the sides. Aim to let everything soften. Muscles of the face, the jaw, the neck. Notice specifically the muscles surrounding your hip joints. Notice if there's any shift in sensation from just half an hour ago before we started. Maybe now you can let the legs be even heavier. Take a slow, deep breath in. Retain full lung. And then long, slow exhale. Once more like that. Fill the lungs. Inhale, expand. Pause for a moment. All breath out. And then allow a natural breath. Bring some little movements into your body. Reawaken. Maybe a full body stretch. Reaching your arms back behind you for a moment. Side to side sway. One more in-breath here. Exhale, knees to your chest. Might feel good to roll onto either side for a moment. Maybe resting your head on your upper arm. This is fetal position. We'll meet in a comfortable seat to finish up here. Take your time rising up. We'll finish with 2 cleansing breaths, breathing in through our nose And then a strong exhale through our mouth to release any remaining tension that might be in your body. Nice tall spine. Inhale, arms overhead. Open mouth, exhale. Good. Once more. Deep breath in. Let it all go. Thank you so much for joining me to practice today. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and namaste. Thank you, everyone. Hope to see you soon. Goodbye.